Mark my words, the LA Clippers are going to be the most fun team in basketball this season. This team was already pretty fun last year, and they made only good additions. Honestly, the only thing that's wrong with this team is that they're all dirt old. Hey, look at this. I learned how to focus my stupid phone on my face, so you guys get a way better image of me looking stupid. I hope it looks better in all seriousness, but we'll get into this. Now, why is this team going to be fun? We all know that there's a ton of stars on this roster and that they're all kind of out of their prime, but why are they actually going to be fun? Well, last season, this team had an amazing defense, and their roster could allow them to have basically 4 or 5 amazing defenders on the court at one time. This led to some pretty fun watches. I've actually watched the Clippers live last season. I watched them kind of piece up my Pistons at the Little Caesars Arena, and I think the Pistons won, but I watched James Harden drop something like 50 on me, my team. And it was amazing to watch. Their team flowed really, really well. And I think that the offseason additions of John Collins, Brooke Lopez, and them kind of getting rid of Norman Powell. I'm a big Norman Powell guy. I think it was amazing last season. The story was cool. But Bradley Beal makes a lot more sense for this kind of team. And I think the value they got in getting John Collins for Norman Powell is really going understated in this offseason. Now, like I said, the main critique of this team is that they are dirt old. They're all 30 something, basically. But they have a lot of young and spry guys to pick up the slack when maybe one of these people get injured, or maybe one of these people kind of have to sit out because they have accumulated so many injuries over the years. They got people like DJJ, they got people like John Collins, they got people like Zubac who are decently on the young side and can pick up any needed slack in case Brooke Lopez goes out or James Harden goes out. Now they have actual pieces to back up. This depth is amazing. And like I said, their defense was amazing last season, but the one thing that you could kind of critique on them is their offense got a little bit stagnant. And I don't think this is going to happen anymore. I think that John Collins or Brooke Lopez or Bradley Beal, all three honestly, can make such a big difference just by themselves. And when you put them together, it just makes this team look amazing on paper. Hopefully, I'm right. I've been wrong before, obviously. I think this team's going to be amazing. Honestly, I have them as a dark horse contender. If you're a LA Clippers fan, maybe you agree with me. If you're anyone else, maybe you agree with me. Or if you don't agree with me, let me know why. Because I really do have this team in my top category for contenders. They're not in there, but they're right below it. With the Pistons, maybe. I'm a big Pistons fan, so. Now, kind of concluding all this, I think the Clippers are going to be the most fun team in basketball. They got all these legacy players. They got all these older players who are trying to prove themselves, maybe win a ring or get really deep in the playoffs for, Chris Paul's last season, or Brooke Lopez is kind of close to last season. He's getting pretty up there in age. Bradley Beal still has a lot to prove after the past little bit in Phoenix. Everyone seems to hate him for some reason. For some reason. I know why. But he kind of doesn't deserve the hate as much as he's getting, at least. Harden needs to prove that he won't choke up in every clutch game in the playoffs, it seems like. And also, some other players like John Collins need to prove themselves a little more than they have. Now, what do I think this team's going to look like win-wise? I don't know. 5 or 6 seed is what I'm guessing. I think that they make it out of the first round at least. If I'm wrong, I'm not going to do anything crazy, but maybe I'll give away $5. One last thing I want to bring up on why this team's going to be so fun is it has probably some of the best depth I've seen on a not contender exactly. Again, I have them as a dark horse contender, but they're not my top tier, my top 5 teams in the NBA. And for that being the case, I feel like they have such a deep team. They can put out 8 different guys who will give you amazing defense and some pretty decent offense. You could sub in Chris Dunn. Let's say your center situation isn't going well with Zubac. Bring in Brooke Lopez. Now you can play an entirely different game with a 3-point spacing big. Or you have Zubac to be that kind of back to the basket, kind of beat you down. Overall, this team has just so many moving pieces that I think are kind of going under talked about. Nobody's really been talking about the Clippers offseason as much as I think they should. I think they had one of the most exciting in the entire NBA. And I think, honestly, this season is going to be amazing for Clippers fans. That's going to be all for me today. Honestly, I'm really glad I figured out how to focus the camera. I'm getting my wisdom teeth out on Monday, so wish me luck. I'm not going to be posting for a little. I do have some videos that I recorded, and maybe if I'm feeling up to it, I'll post it throughout the week. So look out for that. And thank you guys for 250 subscribers. It's amazing. We're moving pretty quick here, so next goal is 500, I guess. We'll see. Peace.